It is different to the stuff he's been doing before, and I'm not, no way am I saying that anybody is a lie. I don't mean that, but always take what people do say with a pinch of salt, because... Sorry, the bald a-hole here. Thank you for joining me as always. Joe, the fitness mascot, Stanley, the Gaines giraffe, I think I called it. Don't worry about it. They're just toys. I'm going to have to stop mentioning the start of every video because it's just getting weird. It's like when you're at work and you pass someone over and over, you're like, hi, Dave. Hey, Dave. How's it going, Dave? G'day, Dave. And then you just start making up words like spangting, Dave, because you don't want to say anything into him, but you don't want to be rude. So they're part of the team. They're better than I. I get all my information from them. If you disagree with me, you're also disagreeing with a toy penguin and a toy giraffe. My point being, it's just YouTube. Don't worry about it. But yes, The Rock is currently in training for his Black Adam movie. He's taking it quite seriously. He says he wants to redefine the superhero genre, which is going to be very difficult given that the Marvel movies and the Avengers films have been, well, they've done gangbusters. A little bit different when we get to DC, but this is not the video to start talking about that. And over on his Instagram, on certain websites, I saw this on Men's Health, he has started listing the kind of stuff that he's doing. And I'm not going to lie, he's drip feeding it. I get why he's drip feeding it because he's very smart. He's a PR machine. It's good for his Instagram, but we do have kind of a basic setup so we can get into a little bit of his routine in terms of the gym, and we can get into a little bit of his diet. Now, the first thing he does, and I'll try and intersperse the clips with this so you know I'm not just making it up, is that he does fasted cardio.
That is an official wrap on my workout number 2 on this Monday as I roll on down the line in my training and my prep for Black Adam. As many of you know, the first workout of the day for me, as soon as I roll out of bed, I do my cardio on an empty stomach.
Straight away, you saying, should I do fasted cardio? Do whatever the hell cardio you want to be doing. If you want to wake up and do it, do it. If you want to do it in the middle of the day, do it. If you want to do it before you go to bed, do it. If you want to do it at 3:17 p.m. or 3:16, wrestling, you should do it.
Do it. Do it.
Let's do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Come on, sweetie. Do it.
Okay.
Do it. Do it.
It's completely up to you. As long as you're getting your cardio done, you're getting your cardio done. And that sounds like a redundant thing to say, but it's true. I like doing fasted cardio because I like up and I like having something done before like 7 a.m. So I get to like 7 a.m., 7:30. I'm like, wow, I've already achieved today. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel great. It makes me ready to attack the day. But if it's going to make you feel like crap, don't do it. And also, I mean, we'll talk about this as we go. Don't just do it because The Rock does it.
Don't do what Donnie don't does. They could have made this clearer.
You are not The Rock. You're not. Or maybe you are. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing? The reason that all of these things do pop up in Men's Health and Women's Fitness, whatever the hell magazines are going on, is because we all think, we've talked about this, but we all think, oh my gosh, if I do exactly what The Rock does, I'll look like The Rock. But you won't. That's just not how it works. I'd love to tell you if that was the case, and you should absolutely use it for motivation and inspiration, and maybe you see him doing an exercise you've never done before. Awesome. But don't think just because you do exactly what he does, then you will become him. Imagine you did. Imagine you became The Rock. In fact, if you did become The Rock would find out about it, and then he'd commission you to be in the film. Because Hollywood love those kind of movies. It's like Freaky Friday, when the mum becomes a daughter and the daughter becomes a mum, and then they wind up going on a skiing holiday. That's all they ever do. They wind up going on some kind of skiing holiday. We have got way off track. So he does fasted cardio. I'm going to presume he probably drinks a cup of coffee or has some kind of caffeine. He's got that new beverage coming out, his nutritional caffeine drink. He probably drinks some of that. We'll get to the diet last. The 2 sessions we know that he does is he said different things in different videos, probably by accident, who the hell knows. But on a Monday, we'll call it workout 1. He does chest and triceps. And when it comes to the chest, he does 3 giant sets, which is 4 exercises per set, working all angles of the chest.
So for today on Friday, the training split is chest and triceps. The movements today are, I'll start off with a fly, then I'll move to 2 compound movements, a press and then an incline press, and I will end that giant set. So that is 3 exercises in a row. And the 4th exercise will be a body weight dip, and just rep it out till fatigue, until failure, and that is a son of a bitch.
So, I mean, that could probably be anything. And then he does a fly movement, he does a chest press, he does an incline press, and he finishes with body weight dips till failure. It's a pretty standard bro split, to be completely honest with you. He's got his compounds in there when he's doing his chest press and his inclines, and he's got his fly. Again, he literally says it in one of his videos, he's aiming for every single angle of the chest by doing different movements. Always a good thing to do, always good advice. If you just want to bench press for your entire chest session, you can. Is it going to be as beneficial? No, but if you enjoy it, why the hell would you take something away that you enjoy? He even actually talked about his rest set too. He said, I keep the rest at a minimum, just enough to recover. Now, given that he told us he was going to give us a bit of information about his routine, he probably could have just said, I aim for 90 seconds. I aim for 2 minutes. There's no right or wrong with it, but I would have just been intrigued to see what he did said and then compare it to other things that you can read. 2 minutes, I think, is an optimum time to go for, but again, it depends how you're training. If you're doing strongman training, you should probably be taking 5, maybe 10 minutes between sets, because I'm guessing you're doing super strong. Like, you could probably do a deadlift with hundreds of kilograms. You can't go back to that in 2 minutes. You're not going to be able to pick it up. He then moves on to the triceps. He's in the same protocol as chest. 3 giant sets, 4 different movements that engage all heads of the tricep. But this actually gets quite interesting when we moved into his back and bicep routine, because again, he doesn't go into specifics in terms of the exercises he's doing, but he does says every single thing he does in his back and bicep, it's all supersets, it's all triceps, it's all giant sets.
So the first workout of the week on a Monday is back and biceps. My entire back workout consists of all supersets. So there's a lot of blood and volume being pumped into the muscle, and then I'll transition to biceps.
So he does 4 to 5 exercises per set, and he does 3 sets of those, and then he makes it very clear that he doesn't throw medicine balls against the wall.
And these exercises aren't, taking a medicine ball and throwing it up against a wall. Even though that's hard.
It's such a weird thing that he says, I don't throw medicine balls against the wall. It's like, nobody taught you about medicine balls. So using that information, then going back to his chest, that's kind of what I assume he's doing for that as well, because he calls it 3 giant sets. So I think he's supersetting that as well. So I think he's going, probably not in this order, but this is how I've got it written down. So he's doing a set of flies. He's then moving on to a set of chest press, then a set of incline press, and he's just going round those 4 times and probably, again, he talks about it, trying to get as much blood into the muscle as possible. And then he does that with triceps. But it seems very interesting to me that when he's talking about chest, he mentions 3 giant sets and never really goes into the nitty gritty. But then when he talks about back and bicep, he does and says that's exactly what he's doing. So it'd be kind of strange if he's doing that for back and biceps, but he's not doing that for chest and triceps. So yeah, he's essentially doing trisets for his big moves, which I've never actually done before. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And then especially when it does come to chest, he says he does just a bunch of sets to failure with body weight dips. He probably put some kind of added weight on it too. And I'm going to guess that when he does drop his back and bicep thing, he probably finishes it with pull-ups, right? Because that makes perfect sense. It's an interesting way to go about it, because given what we've got here, we know he's doing a bro split in the sense that he's doing back and bis, he's doing chest and chest, he'll be doing arms, he'll be doing legs, he'll be doing shoulders. He mentions that he takes Sundays off entirely. So on the 6th day, I'm going to presume he probably works legs twice, but then maybe he doesn't, because I doubt you're going to see much of his legs in Black Adam. It's probably going to be a topless performance. So I will say that maybe he doubles down and does like a chest, back, bicep, whatever I haven't said day. So he basically does back, biceps, chest, and tricep all together on a Saturday, and then he rests on a Sunday. That'd be quite hard to get your rest in, which is another reason you need to be careful with this, because, I know it's going to be all in the comments. What is The Rock doing in terms of power supplements, what he's not doing? I would assume he's doing something, but again, I don't know. And there's far better people out there on YouTube to discuss it. I just get massively intrigued by how people like The Rock go about the gym, because I just do, especially because, if you had said to me, do you think he's going to be doing these crazy giant sets? I'd be like, no, I saw how he trained for Hercules. We did a video on it. Hopefully I remember to put it on the screen. And that was kind of not basic, but expected. It's the stereotypical thing, whereas I'm sure lots of people do this. I have just never seen witness to it before. And the way he describes his training, this is the problem. I'd much rather he talked about it a bit more intimately, but he uses like poetic language. So he says, my training is like a UFC fight or an Iron Man match in wrestling. It's like, dude, I haven't been in a UFC fight and I haven't been in an Iron Man match in wrestling. Maybe one day. I'm a professional wrestler. Could be opening in the summer. I'm so excited. Like, I don't just train hard. It's what he means. Train hard. Unless he thinks he gets to the 5th round of a gym and then he tries to knock someone out. I don't know. And he's dropping all his meals sort of week by week as well. We know what his breakfast is. Again, he talks about that he weighs everything out, doesn't tell us the weights. But for breakfast, he's having steak, and it's either buffalo or beef. I don't even know what buffalo steak is. Britain's not very good for stuff like that. He has white eggs, a whole egg, sorry. I think it's a mixture. I think it's probably going to be like, 10 eggs and 2 yolks or something like that. He has a big bowl of oatmeal, and he has blueberries. And on the plate, he eats his blueberries with his eggs.
So I have a steak in the morning. And sometimes it's a sirloin, sometimes it's a filet, sometimes it's a buffalo. I have some steak, I always have some eggs, and I have my blueberries. Probably wondering, well, where's the carbohydrates at? Well, usually I have oatmeal in the morning.
Especially because then on the day he shows it, he's going to have a cheat meal, so he's substituting in pancakes for oats. And I'm like, why aren't the blueberries on pancakes, Rock? But hey, you do whatever you want. Again, on the Sunday, he rests entirely. Don't know if he's still doing cardio. I have absolutely no idea. I'm sure we'll try and figure it out. But yeah, when he does start talking about legs, you can kind of already figure out what he's going to say. He probably does lunges. He probably does squats. Or then in the past, he says he doesn't do squats, but you still see him doing them. He probably does Romanian deadlifts, and he probably does some kind of leg press, right? I'm going to assume he's doing the same thing there as well. So he's taking all 4, and he's going, maybe you couldn't do it with legs, but it seems like that's what his training routine. So you go boom, 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 rest. Boom, 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 rest. boom, 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 rest. And because he's so focused on intensity, I imagine that is going to kick your ass. Same with shoulders. You'll do what? Shoulder presses, lateral raises, some kind of rear delt. I think he put shrugs in there as well. So you got your 4 there as well, or maybe he sort of adds an extra on when it comes to shoulders. But it is different to the stuff he's been doing before. And I'm not, no way am I saying that anybody is a lie. I don't mean that. But always take what people do say with a pinch of salt, because you're not seeing it firsthand. A lot of the programs that are put out there, or the articles that are put out there, are done because he's got Black Adam coming out. He's just done Young Rock. He wants to get good promotion. I'm sure he doesn't want to share every single thing for many reasons. So just take it as a window into what he's doing. And maybe you like the idea of this. Maybe you think the idea of a tricep or a giant set, wow, that will work for me massively. Give it a go. There's nothing wrong with changing your routine. There's nothing wrong with trying something new. Just accept that after a few weeks, or more than that, a few months, if you're not seeing the progress you want, doesn't mean you're not as good as The Rock. It just means you have a different genetic code, and it just means you need to approach the gym differently. Maybe you can take some of this and apply it to your legs, but when it comes to your back or your pull or your push workouts, you need to do something different. I will keep updating these videos as we go, because I'm like you, I'm really, really intrigued. He says he wants to be in the best shape he's ever been in his life. He's essentially a 50-year-old man. So that's kind of incredible, and I will be fascinated to see what he does. Although that is the right rhetoric to have with a superhero movie. That's what people will be expecting, because you look at all the other guys that have come along; they've all got themselves into good shape. But yeah, don't sort of go crazy. And look, I know The Rock works his ass off. He does. His work ethic is incredible. But hard work is just the start. Hard work doesn't mean all of a sudden you turn in to this big jack dude. Some people can work hard all their lives and not actually get the rewards that they feel like they deserve. Life can be a crazy thing. So again, just use it as your platform, but do not let yourself fall into the mud just because you don't end up looking like Dwayne Johnson. I mean, he even admits when he's 15 years old, people thought he was an undercover cop because he was in school and he had a moustache. It's like, there's no way you can be 15. So he's clearly ahead of the curve on that way. And let's look at it the other way too. We're always focusing on the negative. Let's look on the positive. You may have better genetics than The Rock. So you may do what he does, and you may eat your steak and your eggs and your oatmeal and blueberries, and you may be twice the size. And if you are, why the hell haven't you started a YouTube channel? People will absolutely listen to you. So yeah, I'm massively intrigued to see where this goes. Like I say, every time we get more information, I'll make sure it gets out there. In the meantime, if you could like the video, share the video, hit the subscribe button, that would be great. Also, there's a bell there. It means YouTube will go ding ding, and then when another videos of mine goes live. I've got another video there. It's going to be me training like The Rock. I went through his program from the Hercules. Give it a watch if you so wish. Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, and merchandise is in the description below. But otherwise, I appreciate you spending this 10 minutes or so with me, and I'll see you on the next one.